everybody, we are the Jersey Comic Crew, and we bring you the news and reviews on your favorite comics, movies, and TV shows. As always, I'm Rob Moran.
And I'm Chris Heller.
And as you can see, I like to talk with my hands a lot. But
it's the Italian in both of us.
Yes. I made pizza last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like homemade pizza?
Yeah, it was terrible.
It's hard.
You know why? Because it was me.
Because you don't have a 600-degree oven?
Yeah, one, that's true. We're going to get into comics, movies, and TV shows. This is part of the news, all right? Me, Mike, and my parents were doing this, which one was weird. I was like, all right, we're all doing this as a family. But
we could have done this when we were 10, Dad, but we're doing it when we're 29.
We did.
Oh, you did?
We were trying to recreate pictures.
Oh, wow. That sounds really like very family white of you.
I know. I've never... this is new to me.
It's the whitest thing ever.
And one of the pictures, my mom is holding my brother up by his arms.
Oh, really? You recreated? Mike is like 3 times
and
that.
I'm like, Mom, how are you going to do that? And she's like, I'm just going to hold his arm. And I'm like, no, Mom. Let's see you eat your Wheaties. Get in the chair trying to do it.
Mike is like 3 inches taller than you are.
He's
massive.
He stacked my mom on top of him, of herself.
Did you stand on a chair and hold his arm?
We were trying to do it. And then I was like, Mike, you have to squat down. He's like, I'm making pizza here. So we didn't do it. But the issue with it was... So aside from the oven, and we didn't do it in a cast iron skillet, right?
Okay.
We're just doing it on the thing.
Yeah.
My dad was impatient, so he took it out early.
Oh, no.
He's like, oh, look, the top's done. I was like, you got to wait for the bottom to go. He's like, no, let's go. And I'm like, it was a little rubbery on the bottom. It wasn't bad. It was still good. I mean, pizza's pizza.
Yeah, pizza's
pizza.
Gotta have that crust come up, man.
So,
been a while.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank you guys for sticking with us. We, again... have a lot of life things going on, but we are back. We should be consistently back now.
You know what sounds similar to back? Bat.
Literally, I was thinking, I'm like, back?
Batman casting? Yes, that's right, guys. So the first thing we got to talk about is the Batman casting rumors. Well, actually, one of them is now confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
So... Colin Farrell is still in talks to play the Penguin in the upcoming Batman movie.
The Batman.
And now we know that Anky Serkis is 100% confirmed to be Alfred.
I love that.
So, yeah, that's what I want to talk to you about.
Serkis or... We'll talk about both, but let's talk about Serkis first.
So, for Serkis, when I first heard the news about Serkis and being Alfred, Serkis is a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't really...
Basically paved the way for the mocap audience as well.
And you keep forgetting that when you look at him. But I was like, I can see him being Alfred. Alfred, especially after Gotham, people like that tougher Alfred, right?
Yes.
People are tired of that passive, yes, Master Wayne. They want Alfred with a little grit to him.
I agree 100%.
I think this would be a good casting.
I agree. And like you just said, after Gotham with Sean Pertwee, who was really good, as well as some of the newer cartoon series as well. Mm-hmm. I think it was one of the latest ones had Alfred literally right out of the military protecting Bruce. And it seems like we've been going the last few incarnations of Alfred, at least on, television mediums, has been more of the ex-military Alfred, the slightly younger and not as old Alfred. Yes. And is more of a badass and more of kind of the growly, deep-voiced, manly Alfred.
We even have a show, Pennyworth, dedicated to everything Alfred.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I hear it's pretty good.
I hear it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just so much content to watch. But when you think about Alfred, and that change is going to give a good dynamic, because Alfred is best, at least for me in the comics, and I'm sure you're going to agree, is when he's challenging Bruce.
Yeah.
He's like, you shouldn't do this because of this. He's like, I think this is what you really should do. Slap some sense into him. Mm-hmm. The scene, I remember, I forget what issue it was, but Alfred slaps Bruce in the face.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what I want to see.
That was early Tom King run, I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
No, I think it was actually...
Was it Snyder?
No, it might have been Tom King, right?
I thought it was Tom.
It was either at the end of Snyder's run or the beginning of Tom King's run.
I think it was the beginning of Tom King's run.
Yeah, because he got young. I remember he just became young again.
Yeah.
After the Lazarus Pit. But I'm thinking to myself, I like to see this dynamic of back and forth.
Sure.
And this more of a challenge to him. So I think it'll be cool.
I think it'll be awesome too. Yeah, I agree. I think Alfred is a character that he's such a staple of the Batman universe, he often gets overlooked because he's someone whose role never changes.
He's always there.
And he's someone whose role never changes, right? There's really no more character development for Alfred, right? He's kind of, his character development comes with more backstory than future or present story.
Yeah.
So with a dynamic with a character like Alfred, it can be refreshing to have a little bit of a younger Alfred who could kind of like, you're not wondering like, how does this old guy keep up with Bruce Wayne all day? Like, how does he, get in the car and drive and pick him up literally out of a sewer and drag him into the car and patch him up and make food for him? And it seems like even when Bruce is asleep half the day, Alfred's up doing something. So it's like, when does Alfred sleep
or do
anything?
Everything.
Yeah. So it's like, you don't really realize until you actually think about it, how much Alfred is a part of that lifestyle. And Anky Serkis is also an amazing actor. He's a badass. He has a great voice. I immediately thought of his role in Black Panther
as
Ulysses Claw with that kind of like, he's an older guy but not so old, but he could be that merc kind of like ex-military style of character.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the older but not so old.
Yeah,
because when you have Robert Pattinson as Batman, he looks to be a younger Batman, right? Than
exactly.
What we're used to.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether he is or not is not the issue.
Yeah.
But like, if he looks younger, and then you have a old but still an older but young Alfred, it makes sense in the timeline.
Exactly,
right?
and to me, like, if you're hiring Robert Pattinson to be Batman, you obviously want him to be Batman for a while, right? Like, it's not going to be a one and done thing. You're like, this is our Batman for as long as we can make these movies and make really good money off of it. He's young. He also looks obviously younger than he is. So that helps too. So you could have him kind of on a long stay. You're going to want to match that up age-wise with everybody
And especially with people still questioning about him being Batman, you want him to be playing against people who with strong acting, with established careers. Like, so having probably the most important person of his life being Anky Serkis, I think it's going to be a great back and forth we're going to see.
Yeah, and I would totally be okay. Like, they obviously don't have to do an origin story for this movie, right? Like, we don't have to see, the Zorro movie and the pearls and the shot, unless it's like quick flashback. But I think some of that growing up with Alfred shaping Bruce into Batman in that middle area flashbacks of like things maybe Bruce remembers that Alfred taught him, could be really good. And you're not going to hire Anky Serkis and not have him on screen for a little bit. So
what do you think about moving up before our next topic? Colin Farrell, as possibly the Penguin. So I want to go into why I have an issue with this.
Okay,
and it's not because of the physical nature of Colin Farrell, not because he's just skinny, he's a good-looking gentleman. I don't have
with an Irish brogue.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with that.
Yeah,
he could literally have the Irish brogue. He could do all that kind of stuff. I think he's a great actor. My issue with this as Penguin is because when you think of Penguin, you think of the physicality of him, right? You're the short guy, he's fat. You also think of like he's a mobster, but like in the comics, the other thing you think about, but you don't realize that you think about, is that like he's always like the butt of the joke.
Yes.
Like he's like, oh, he's this, he's haha, he's funny, and then he overcomes that, right? He's like when you immediately look at him or like you see him act, you see him talk and walk, anything like that. He's immediately like a step behind everybody.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like already counting him out, and like he has to overcome that.
Yeah.
And when I see someone like Colin Farrell, like you see on the screen for a moment on the bottom there,
our awesome new tech.
Yes, thank you. I've been
awesome
working hard
tech.
on it. I just like I look at someone, I was like, all right, this guy is a badass.
Yeah.
Like I don't want him as Penguin. I do want him in the Batman universe.
Yeah.
Maybe as maybe a tough Riddler, maybe as a Two-Face, maybe like
you know what he would be perfect as to me? Hush.
He'd be fantastic. Hush is such a great thing, especially in that picture right there. I look at that picture and
you can see the wraps on his face.
I see it.
Like I think he would have been a perfect Hush. I think two things. So we've been we slightly talked about this. We had an Instagram post and me and Rob have been talking about this a little bit. And my initial reaction was very negative. Not because it's Colin Farrell. I think he's a good actor. Again, I think he's a badass. I think casting him as Oswald Cobblepot, I don't think there's anything about him that is like Oswald. I think they're going to have to rely 100% on him becoming that character and acting wise.
It's a big acting challenge.
At the end of the day, Colin Farrell's just a cool, badass motherfucker, right? And Oswald is none of those things.
Oh, he's badass.
Well, yes, but I'm saying none of those things on face value.
On face value, correct.
Oswald Cobblepot is also not someone who fights Batman with his fists. He fights Batman because he has people to fight Batman, and he has birds, and he has a billion umbrellas that do different things. He is not going toe-to-toe with Batman. Colin Farrell looks like he goes toe-to-toe with Batman, in his normal life.
Yeah.
So that's where it's kind of weird for me, because also we're in a time where casting is not just we're going to cast the biggest names, we're going to cast the most famous people anymore.
Correct.
We're in a time where casting in Hollywood is way more we better make sure that we cast people who represent these characters as well as can act. And to me, as Kevin Smith says all the time, you're taking a job away from the fat guys. It's hard enough. It's hard enough for the fat guys in Hollywood to get jobs.
I could play the Penguin.
Give the fat guys a chance. You're taking the fatties out of the running for these roles that are basically made for them. I think
that's so bad.
It is, but it's also true, kind of, right? You're taking away this character who is based on awkwardness and and unhealthiness because of how he eats and how he breathes and lives.
Who do we have that was rumored to be Penguin before this?
Jonah Hill.
Yeah, and they got rid of that.
That stopped because
I still want him.
Negotiations just kind of tanked and they couldn't come to a mutual agreement. I think there's some scheduling stuff involved with that too. So unfortunately, that didn't happen.
So guys, let us know down in the comments below what you think of these one casting confirm and casting rumor. Do you think Anky Serkis is going to be the best Alfred? Do you think Colin Farrell is going to be able to get lost in this role and actually accurately portray Penguin? Let me know.
And do you think they took a job away from the fat guys?
I think so.
I think they did. I mean, my one really last thing is this too. Colin Farrell, again, good actor. But is this just a ploy to be hey, look at this name we got in this movie?
Colin Farrell
is Batman, so you don't really need that.
He's kind of weird. He's a name, but he's also a character actor.
Yeah. He's in the new Harry Potter movie.
He should have been
and you don't really notice that he's there as the guy.
Yeah, I hate that they put in Johnny Depp as the...
I just don't think they're doing the movies that well.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know what I mean? That's a whole different story. But Colin Farrell has done badass movies. He was in SWAT. He's known for SWAT. That kind of jumpstarted his career.
Yeah.
Phone Booth, stuff like that. So I don't know. I think if you put him as a Hush or a badass character in Batman, that's way better. But again, I'm not sure.
He'd be cool as Black Mask.
Black Mask would
but
be
they already
cool,
got
but they're doing Ewan McGregor with that. I thought he'd be great as Hush, but again, it seems like they're going back to Penguin and some characters we've seen a lot, which is already a little worrisome for me.
So,
but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Speaking of penguins,
penguins
are an animal.
Yes, they are.
You know what else is an animal?
They're very hilarious too.
Boom! Spider-Man is an animal. That's right. Guys, we have a release date for Spider-Man. Spider-Verse 2. Yep. It's going to come out in April of 2022.
Awesome.
So what this means to us is that this studio is going to have a healthy amount of time to recreate that magic that was captured in that first one with all this animation.
Yeah, and you got to think, after the amount of money they made on that first one, it's inevitable to make a sequel.
Yes.
If any of you actual comic book fans are listening, you probably know as much as us, there's a lot of Spider-Verse books coming out now.
Yes.
They're kind of building that movie universe. Marvel's also taking the video game universe very seriously. Mm-hmm. They're doing Spider-Man the video game books that are sequels to the game, as well as they're doing an Iron Man book that is a prequel to the VR game.
Yes.
They're taking all these mediums very seriously, and honestly, everyone I've talked to, there are layman fans of comic books and pop culture. This is everyone's favorite Spider-Man movie ever.
Oh, it is. It's my favorite.
To me, it's 2 or 3. I love it to death. I've watched it a billion times.
What's one?
I still think the first Spider-Man.
Toby?
I love it. I love it so much.
I think nostalgic glasses are on you.
Well, hell yeah, of course. Okay. I was 12 when that came out.
I get it.
I also like Toby, except when he cried.
Here's the thing. You'll see in the banners that are rotating, there was a bunch of Spider logos when they announced it, 20 something in that second thing. So this signifies to me that we're going to see a lot more Spider people. Maybe not all the ones we saw from the first one, even though I do hope we get Nick Cage back.
We got to have Nick Cage.
With the cube.
With the Spider-Man noir.
I think they're going to go to the other worlds for a little bit. I think this one's going to be more of like an adventure story. Like they have to get to someplace.
Oh, I think it's going to be dark. I already have a theory of what the story is going to be.
Let me go with my theory.
Go for
then
it.
You go with your theory.
Yeah, go for it.
I think like we kind of saw Spider-Gwen at the end talk to Miles, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to have to go with something with Madam Web.
A little more flirtation.
Yes. A little more. Yes. I want that.
You want romance anyway.
I love it.
That's already key.
They hook up in the comics. They can hook up in the movie. I'm fine with it. So Madam Web is a character in the Spider-Man world. Think of her as like the central hub to all the Spider-Man worlds.
She's kind of like the watcher of the Spider-Man.
Yes, and like she kind of is like the central hub of the train station. She's like, oh, you want to go over here? Then you go here, here, here. I think they're somehow going to get in contact with her, and they're going to have to stop from the multiverse from getting destroyed. And Miles and a team of people are going to have to travel to each different worlds, maybe get more spiders as he goes, going through all these different worlds so we can see all the kookiness and world things. Yep. And then they're going to have a big final battle back in his world or back in some other world to stop everything. And the reason I think that, because we saw the other spider people come into our world.
Yes.
And we saw all those things. How cool would it be to see our people in the other world? So kind of like a reverse. Mm-hmm. We see their worlds and their art forms, and we see our guy in his standard art form going through all that. And I think it'll be like a museum.
Okay.
Of spider worlds.
Okay.
It's definitely a better analogy.
The Smithsonian of spiders.
It could have been the Smithsonian of spiders. I could have done with that with the alliteration. All right. You have a darker theory?
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
Part of it's your theory where I think they're definitely going to visit worlds. I don't think it's just going to be centralized around Miles, like Ultimate Universe.
Good.
I think they're going to bring like a bunch of different worlds and they're going to be world hopping. I agree 100% with Madam Web. I agree 100% with more spiders and more different spiders that we've seen more in the comics when they did kind of these open worlds.
Yeah.
I could possibly see some Venom in there, cartoonized, maybe voiced by Tom Hardy if they're feeling dangerous.
If they're frisky enough.
Yes, but I think this story to me makes sense to centralize around Morlun. And
Morlun, is that the vampire?
Yes, and his family that eat spiders from every world to sustain themselves.
So like the actual Spider-Verse.
The actual Spider-Verse like storyline, I think as a movie would be insane.
What if this leads up to that?
That could be too. This could be also if they're not doing like a Morlun story, this could be like, you know, you could have a like their own like there's an Ultimate Sinister Six as well.
Real quick before you keep going.
Yeah.
Because we kind of just dropped the big name Morlun. I want to explain to him who
totally,
who he is. So Morlun is the spider hunter.
Yes.
So spiders are essentially totems. That's how he views them and his family. So when he kills them, he gains their energy and strength. And he does this at one point in the Spider-Verse event, goes to different worlds and killing their spider totems to increase his power. He kills Madam Web so that way they can't transfer to other worlds. They are kind of like trapped prey.
And they're always... like once they can sense a spider, their hunger never ceases.
Yes.
So they are basically cursed with like, I have no choice but to hunt these things and eat them and suck their life essence out. Because if I don't, I will be in agony forever.
Okay. Continue.
So yeah, like that theory is crazy. Like those stories are nuts where like they aren't the most popular or best books, but
the Ultimate Sinister Six.
Well, the Ultimate Sinister Six too, but like if you add like the Morlun aspect and they're jumping from world to world and hiding from them, and then they have to kind of make a plan and backtrack, and then you have spiders dying at the same time, and you have certain Spider-Men going down and Spider-Women going down. It becomes more tangible. It becomes heavier.
I like the idea of like if I'm picturing this series as a 3-story
like
arc.
The third
arc would be Morlun.
Yeah.
How do you say
Morlun?
Morlun. Thank you. The second arc would be, or the second movie should be the Ultimate Sinister Six. So that way they visit other worlds. Still, we can still get that.
Well, we also, at the end of one, remember, we saw Spidey 2099.
Yes.
So this could lead up to like a 2099 story where the future's in jeopardy, and then this could be Morlun later on.
Yeah, I don't know. They have so many different avenues they could go down.
It's animated. They could do literally whatever.
So, guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think Spider-Verse 2 is going to be. Are you okay with waiting until 2022?
You have a choice.
You don't have a choice. Well, maybe they could still voice their opinion.
I'm not okay with it, but I can't help it, and I can't do anything about it.
So,
yes,
I'm trying to think of a segue.
Good luck, man. You and the segways. You're riding on them with one wheel sometimes.
Spider-Man is in the Marvel Universe.
Yes, he is. Very good.
So we need to talk about what Marvel and Disney have just done, that's Disney Plus.
Wow. That was
a rough one.
Before we even get into...
That was a rough transition.
That's fine. We're glazing through that one.
All right.
Before we even get into the schematics and scope and craziness of Disney Plus, how was your experience on day one?
It's fine.
Like, I want to know your personal, like, how you got in, like, how you did it. When did you even pre-order it?
No.
You just bought it day of?
Yeah.
Week trial?
So this is all right. So this was the scenario. I wanted to wait till a paycheck. I don't know why, but that was just my thing.
I mean, yeah.
It came out Tuesday. I was actually going to wait until the end of the week to get it.
You're crazy.
I know. So
with this show that we do, you were going to wait.
I don't know why I thought that.
With
but
the biggest show of the year coming out.
So it was early in the morning on Tuesday, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go home and buy it, right?
Yeah.
Before I could even go home to buy it, I get a message from my fiance, Heather. She's like, hey, you get Disney Plus yet? And I'm like, no, I was thinking of waiting till later in the week, or when I get home, I'll probably do it.
Okay.
And she's like, oh, I'm just going to buy it now for us. And I'm like...
Sounds like that's the smartest idea I've heard in a long time.
I was like, hon, you sure? I was like, I'll get it. She's like, no, I want to watch stuff now.
By the way, you did the... Oh, hon, are you sure? And in your mind, you're like, I'm getting this bitch for free. You're like, oh, honey, don't worry about it. If she was like, okay, I won't, you'd have been like, but if you want to. But if you want to get it, that's
honey,
fine.
if you really want to get it now,
like,
you might as well.
Fuck out of here with that.
It's fine. I'm not going to be mad at you or anything.
So, man, my experience is so different, but I love hearing this.
So she got it. And I was like, oh, she got, I guess, the ultimate package. So we have ESPN Plus and Hulu. I thought,
okay. Yeah. You got the combo.
Yeah, that's what she got.
It's the best value in streaming service history.
It makes sense. So she's like, yeah, we have Hulu, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus now.
You don't even need ESPN Plus.
I don't even know.
I do.
I was like, now I'll watch it.
It's amazing.
When I want to.
Oh, Peyton's Place is really good.
So I was like, oh, now I have all this for free. And Netflix, I have, I leech off my brother.
See, this is leading into my territory.
So I leached that off my brother, but Heather also has it, so I have a backup.
Jesus Christ!
And then
you are a mastermind of just pure skeevism.
And then I watch VRV, which is made by Crunchyroll, so that's for my anime.
Okay.
So you can get that for free, but you have ads.
Okay.
But Mike pays for it.
Oh, it's because he has Crunchyroll?
Yeah, well,
VRV, but he pays for the no ads?
Yep. So I have that.
Wow. Mike, what are you doing,
So
man?
literally...
What are you doing?
I am setting them all. I have the perfect... Oh, HBO, Heather has. So I have that. So I have everything for free. But I buy them stuff to make up for it.
Do you have Amazon?
Yeah, she has that. So I have Amazon for free.
Wow.
I got a winner.
The freeloading Hall of Fame, everyone.
Originally, I wanted to put all the streaming services and like that kind of stuff on me. So like in my mind, my money's all gonna be for the fun stuff. Mm-hmm. So she could pay for the boring stuff like bills and food and water.
That's never gonna happen.
But now it might look like she's just gonna pay for everything.
Wow. I mean, hey,
she won't. She's gonna be like, wait a minute.
Can't beat him, join him.
She's gonna figure it out. She's like, wait, what are you paying for? I'm like, I buy us Taco Bell. You want some tacos?
Well,
or not?
In my world, it's a little more equal.
Hopefully she doesn't watch this. I realize this. What's going on behind the scenes?
Send her a secret Instagram DM like, here's an episode link. But yeah, in my world, it's a lot more equal. Okay. So yeah, we pre-ordered it. The yearly subscription.
Okay.
Because obviously you get the free week, and then the bill will hit next Tuesday, and it's like $70 for the year, which if you add it out is like basically 2 months for free.
Yeah, it's not that
compared to the monthly and you know the week and all that. So, yeah, we pre-ordered it, and so I'm paying for it because Erica has Netflix.
Okay.
And then I have Amazon Prime because we use Prime anyway for shipping. And HBO's already in our cable package. So
who pays for cable?
We both do.
You split.
We split that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you split HBO.
Yeah, we split HBO technically.
And ESPN, you split because that's on there.
Yeah, but we didn't get the full ESPN and Hulu.
Okay.
We just got Disney Plus.
Okay. So that's nice.
Yeah, I mean, we already have ESPN. We already have
one of us made that.
I have Hulu from one of my friends already. That we trade. Like I have Hulu, wow. They have my HBO.
Okay.
But yeah, so like we were
scumbag over here.
Not at all. That's free. That's equal. That's original sales. Like back in the old days, it was market. Oh, you want this like course? Here, I want your linens. Okay, we'll trade. Like that's how it is.
You bartered services.
Yes. It was like a Middle Eastern bazaar. It was just like we're trading items now. So we were out celebrating Erica's birthday, and my buddy was like, "Yeah, I want to get it, but I don't have the $70 right now." And I was like, "Well, you can have like up to 4 accounts. You want to split it, and we pay $35 for the year, and I will add an account on for you." And he's like, "That sounds awesome."
Oh,
so.
Cool. Wow.
I'm paying $35 for the entire year, and my buddy is also paying $35.
That is really good.
That's another way of going.
You know what's better than 35?
0.
Free.
But yeah, no, I mean 35 is better than 70.
So the reason we're talking about this is because Disney Plus is obviously king. So before the streaming service came out, they did a study.
But I had a little more.
I'm so sorry. I was
cutting me off. And
well, the topic is real short. Go ahead.
The topic is short. But anyway, so because of obviously this show, and anyone who knows me could have guessed like this guy's gonna have it day one. I had the most like heavy of freeloaders texting me like on Tuesday, like, "Yo, you got Disney Plus? Yo, you got Disney Plus?" And my answer was literally like, "You are not getting it. Fuck off." Like I'm like, I'm not giving you easily like 7 or 8. Easily. Of just freeloaders. Our movie guy Ed is still trying to figure out how to get it for free.
That makes sense.
Of course, yeah. Ed somehow gets everything for free. Everything. We're drinks, like everything.
We're two men of the same. We're cut from the same cloth.
Cut from the same cloth. But yeah, it was funny. So like we had a lot of that. But Tuesday, so Monday night,
8 people. Wow.
Yeah, like 7 or 8 people. On Monday night, I was watching the Monday Night Football game on ESPN.
Okay.
And obviously ESPN's owned by Disney. They had like the Mandalorian like exclusive clip trailer. They had at halftime. They were like promoting it all night. So the game ended around 11:30 at night. So I was up already. I'm like, hey, like, you know, midnight is around the corner. Let's see if I could at least, you know, before the rush, because you know everyone's gonna have it. Okay. Before the rush, let me see if I could download it on my TV.
Yeah.
And just have the app there and logged in, so when I come home tomorrow from work, it'll be good. It wasn't available at midnight here because I think what they're doing for the East Coast is everything updates at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Because of the 3-hour difference.
Okay.
So I went into work the next day, logged in through my computer, and just made sure like all the accounts were made. And then came home and downloaded to my Samsung. Luckily, Samsung had the app and watched Mandalorian.
I did it on my Xbox.
Yeah, I was
my phone.
If my Samsung TV, if it wasn't on the smart TV, I was going to go to the PS4 and download it because my buddy had it on PS4. My other friend put it on his Fire Stick, but it wasn't working because I guess with the Wi-Fi and everything.
Okay.
But I really wanted it on the TV because I have the Ethernet hooked up into the TV, so it's not run on Wi-Fi. It's like 5K speed.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, if it's lagging, I'll still be pretty good. And same thing with the PS4, but you know, it worked out.
Mike leached off Heather.
Smart man. Good, because you leech off Mike over everything. Mike deserves to leech off of somebody.
He asked Heather, he's like, "Yo, so can I get a profile?" So
it's like Heather, Rob, Mike.
No, it's Heather, and she's Belle as her icon.
So is Erica.
I'm Leech, and I'm Beast, and then Michael's Leech too with the Mandalorian. I
have the Mandalorian icon.
Yeah, so we're leeches.
So yeah, so we have it, and then yeah, it was crazy. I didn't experience the craziness of not being able to watch stuff.
I didn't have
like a lot of
issue.
People.
I don't know anybody in my friends group that had an issue.
I think my one buddy had an issue with the Fire Stick.
Okay.
And then he switched it to the PS4 and was fine. My buddy who like shared the accounts with me was fine on the PS4.
Okay.
I was fine on the smart TV. But yeah, apparently it crashed early. I think a lot of people like just didn't go to work to watch Mandalorian that day, and like everyone tried to watch it at the same time.
Maybe.
The servers were crazy, as you can see in the banner. 10 million subscribers day one.
Yes. So this now to the little news we wanted to talk about. Before the service came out, they did a survey and they found out that two-thirds,
yep.
mind you, 2 out of 3 of the American people are going to get the Disney platform.
Or planning on it.
Planning on getting it. And then on day one, over 10 million downloads this app.
That's crazy.
So they're making hand over fist. People are losing their minds.
Who run the world? Disney.
Yeah, really. Yep. But Disney, has programming for all kinds of stuff. They have it for Star Wars. They have it for the old classic ones. They even have like old like 60s and 70s movies like Bedknobs and Broomsticks. I remember watching that.
Sword and Stone.
Yes.
Gargoyles.
Oh, Gargoyles is so good.
Darkwing Duck.
Oh my God. And you know what else they're going to have? They're going to have some Marvel shows. That was a good one.
But that's good. So this is awesome because is there anything, obviously we're going to talk Mandalorian, but
we're saving for last.
Is there anything that you watched that wasn't Mandalorian yet?
Lilo and Stitch.
Really?
Yeah.
So here's thing in my relationship is this, like Erica, there's a lot of movies she hasn't seen that I'm like, you have to see this movie.
Like Disney movies?
No, like legit movies.
Okay.
Not like Disney isn't legit, but like real life.
Like live action
movies. Live action movies that aren't Disney. And with her, like she loves Disney. So she's like, you haven't seen all these Disney movies. You have to see these movies.
Oh, you haven't watched all
There's
Disney
a lot
movies?
of Disney movies I have not seen.
So what did she make you see that you haven't seen?
You're going to hate me for this one. I haven't seen all the way through. I only saw like bits and pieces, but we finally watched all the way through Monsters, Inc.
Really?
Yeah, never saw it all the way through.
Huh.
Haven't seen Frozen's good. Haven't seen Moana.
So wait, you just watched Frozen?
No. I haven't seen. We just watched
Moana. Made me cry. It's fantastic.
I haven't seen it.
Have you watched Coco?
Yes.
Yeah,
I saw Coco on a plane to California.
Did you cry?
No, I did not. But it was very. I was on a plane.
So
Erica watched it. We both watched it on the plane, and like I'm like just watching it, and I'm like, why is my shirt wet? And I turn to the side. She's leaning on me, just like bawling, and I'm like, oh, I can't even change.
All right, so what movie did she make you watch? Monsters, Inc.?
Monsters, Inc.
That's it?
So far, yeah.
That's a good one.
We also watched the Forky Has a Question short.
How was it?
It's like 3 minutes, but it's very funny.
Okay, I gotta watch.
It's like a funny little tease. But personally, what I loved is the Marvel short.
Yeah, I watched that
documentary, which showed all of the footage basically at Comic-Con that we didn't see.
I kind of saw all that already.
Oh, I didn't.
I saw like the leak stuff.
Oh, I didn't see.
But it was nice to see they put it all together. And
yeah.
Like, oh, this is the announcement.
And the clear views.
It was good.
Also, which was crazy to me, there's a lot of deleted scenes from movies that we didn't see on Blu-rays or TV that they put on Disney Plus from older movies.
Really?
So like Star Wars had deleted scenes that we've never seen before.
I didn't know that. Is it in the actual Star Wars movie or like it's a separate thing?
So Return of the Jedi, if you go to Return of the Jedi and you click on it, there's the section where it's like suggested and extras and stuff, and it goes to if you go to extras, it's like the deleted scenes and the bonus features.
Wow.
There is a scene that has never been shown before.
What happened?
Where it's literally Vader calling out to Luke through the Force while Luke is building his green lightsaber. And like it's right before the cave where he goes into Jabba's palace and saves Leia and Han.
Why is that not in the movie?
Dude, so I watched it randomly after we watched after we watched Monsters, Inc. And Erica was like assed out, asleep. I'm like watching, like literally it was watching Star Wars for the first time, which is something I never thought would be possible, even for like 3 minutes. I'm like crying because I'm like, oh my God, it's Luke putting together his lightsaber. This is insane. Like, I never thought I would see like young Mark Hamill in a scene I've never seen before for a movie I've seen 1 billion times.
Huh.
And I was like not ready for the amount of emotion that hit me. And I'm like, and of course, with my life, I turned to Erica to be like almost like, oh my God, are you seeing this? And she is like head back, asleep, mouth open, like, and I'm just like.
But you didn't cry during Coco, so I think it's fair.
I didn't cry during Coco, but it was very emotional. Coco,
so
very good movie.
Like we were saying, so some Marvel series updates. One, we got confirmed by the Lord and Savior Kevin Feige.
our Lord and Savior Kevin Feige.
In the name of the Kevin, the Feige,
the Marvel
Cinematic World. So he has confirmed that the Loki TV series, which a lot of us were like, all right, it's just a spinoff of when he picked up the cube and this other reality. It's going to tie in directly to Doctor Strange 2. So Doctor Strange 2 is the Multiverse of Madness, and there's going to be a direct tie-in between the two.
Yes.
Which now I need to watch the show even more now.
As well as WandaVision.
And WandaVision. So I think Doctor Strange 2 is going to reshape the whole of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they're going to rely heavily on that.
I think it's going to open the door for mystical and other characters.
Also, yes, we're going to talk about that. Also, we have confirmation that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be back in the Marvel's What If series as Iron Man, the voice of Iron Man.
Yes.
So we're not done with Robert Downey Jr. yet. He's still going to be around. We're still going to hear his lovely voice.
Thank God.
But you were saying this is going to open the door to more mystical characters. Who do you think?
I think, honestly, a big character that's come back in a big bad way is Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Whether it's, I'm not the hugest Ghost Rider fan, but like I love the character as far as like the thought process of that type of character. It's so different.
I just caught up with the Avengers comic actually.
Yeah.
I just saw the whole like Ghost Rider like war,
the arc and the race.
Yeah, I liked it.
I thought it was okay.
It wasn't great. It was good.
Yeah, but like they have Cosmic Ghost Rider, which for those of you who don't know is basically Frank Castle, the Punisher, in the future as a Ghost Rider in space.
Yeah. So if I remember,
which is the most
correctly,
badass, crazy thing ever.
Thanos came to Earth, killed everybody.
Yep.
Except Frank Castle. He didn't die yet. He became a Ghost Rider on that Earth. Went insane because he was alive for years. Nobody was around. Nothing for him to do.
Yeah. Almost like Moon Knight.
Yes. Then Galactus came to Earth, dying. Ghost Rider saved him. Ghost Rider as Frank Castle saved him. Galactus to thank him made him his herald.
Yeah.
Then they went together and went around the world fighting. And then eventually...
on a cosmic motorcycle.
Yes.
Oh, so badass.
Eventually Galactus fell, and then Cosmic Ghost Rider became a servant of Thanos at the end of the world, where Thanos killed everybody, and he still went insane.
Crazy.
Donny Cates' run of Thanos is fantastic.
And Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yes.
Yeah, so like, again, though, that's a character I think could be back in a big bad way. We know Blade.
Regular Ghost Rider, not Cosmic.
Regular Johnny Blaze. And we know Blade's coming. That's part of that kind of like vampire dark universe.
I think we could get it.
You know what I mean? We could be seeing a lot more dark characters like that, especially with this Multiverse of Madness. And we know the multiverse exists in this universe.
I think this is how they're going to introduce the X-Men.
Maybe.
I think this is how it's going to be like. You're going to get a slight nod of the X-Men in the after credit scene in Doctor Strange 2.
I honestly hope there is some type of resolution for Wanda being a mutant and not an Inhuman. Because obviously they had to use Inhumans when Fox still had the rights. But now that that's changed, I feel like you could open up Wanda into an entire new world. Scarlet Witch is loved. Like, people love the Scarlet Witch in this Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Rightfully so. And I think you could open up that character and not only have... We know she's also going to be in the movie of Doctor Strange 2.
Yes.
So
she's be heavily in that.
Heavily. So if that opens up the mutants, she could be like almost like the one who's like searching for answers in that direction while Strange is dealing with the madness of the multiverse.
I really hope when Marvel gets to around Apocalypse, they do him right.
Oh, yeah.
Because Apocalypse is probably one of my favorite.
Like, he
X-Men
should be
villains.
like Juggernaut in Deadpool 2.
No,
like size-wise.
So, yeah, size-wise.
Sorry, size-wise.
Juggernaut in Deadpool 2 was terrible. But
really?
I don't like him.
Why?
I just felt like they used him as a joke more than like actually.
Well, the whole thing's a joke, but like that's how he should look and act.
No, but I'm just I guess it's more the use of the character.
He was an angry like, he rips him in half. That's Juggernaut.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not getting into that right now.
Just saying.
But yeah, I want him to have that overall, that powerful thing. Like, he to me is on the level of Thanos, like how impactful he can be in the Marvel Cinematic
and he kind of
world.
looks like him.
Yeah. If they take Apocalypse and just like make him the next big bad, like, it makes sense because his power level is through the roof.
I think they're gonna if they do Apocalypse, they're gonna keep it with the X-Men, because the one advantage you have with the X-Men is that they're always a team. It's rarely just one or two of them.
Okay.
Where like, you know, Iron Man fights Ironmonger or Captain America fights Red Skull. Apocalypse, his fight level and his, you know, scare level is that high because he's a bigger level being. He's a bigger level being, but you also have a team that goes against it. You have to make a more powerful character to fight a team, or otherwise Wolverine's just going to slice your head off every time.
Okay.
You know, or Fair Cyclops is going to beam through you. So I think he'll be the X-Men character, maybe more than one X-Men movie. Because he's that strong. He might be like, if they do this, he might be again the Thanos for the X-Men. Like, everything leads up to him at the end. Yeah, but I think the overall Marvel universe has to have a bigger Kang. No, I don't think. Not anymore. I think it has to be Doom. No, I don't think so. I think so. Doom is hands down the greatest, to me, the greatest Marvel villain. He's the smartest. He's the most gray area. and he is the most sinister, and especially in the comics, has accomplished the most, even more than Thanos.
I feel like
he basically became God and went to the gods and said, screw you, you're doing it wrong. I don't care what you say, and destroys them.
And just do the whole Secret Wars.
Insane.
I would like that.
Insane.
I feel like a lot of people are either Doom or Magneto. I feel like they get compared a lot.
Well, I think Magneto's the greatest, I think he's the greatest X-Men villain hands down.
I lean more towards Magneto than Doom, just because I haven't had enough.
Well, he'll be an X-Men. He'll be an X-Men.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I feel like when you look at those two, everybody compares the two, and I feel like you're either on Team Doom or you're on Team Magneto.
I'm on Team Doom just because I think he's stronger. Because Magneto, again, is powerful in Omega level that we use in the X-Men world.
Doom 100% stronger.
Because
I'm not
Magneto can only control magnetism and metal. Doom basically has no barrier of power.
True.
And he's not only intelligent, he's in the mystic arts, he's also in technology. He spans the gap of everything.
He does.
So I mean that's just me.
All right, guys, let us know down in the comments below what you think of Loki being heavily involved in Doctor Strange 2. Let us know based on our conversation. Are you Team Doom? Are you Team Doctor Doom? Or are you Team Magneto?
Doom.
And are you happy that Robert Downey Jr. is staying around?
If you're not, I don't want to hear about it.
So, guys, it now comes time for the big topic.
Yeah.
Mandalorian, it came. We're going to talk about episode 1 and 2 because they dropped literally within week 1 of each other.
Yep. Full spoilers. So be aware. If you have not watched it, go watch it. Then come back and listen to this.
I want you to go first.
Really?
Because I think we're going to have a difference of opinion.
I figured that because it's Star Wars and it's you.
I love Star Wars.
You don't love Star Wars.
No. I love Star Wars a normal amount. I don't love it to the nerdy obsessive. I love it normal.
Yeah, you're a casual Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair to say.
Okay.
All right, so
yeah, but I feel like a casual Star Wars fan, you can still say love. It's not I don't like Star Wars. It's more than like.
Yeah, totally.
I'm like, oh yeah, I like it. It's fine.
So Mandalorian episode 1 dropped Tuesday, episode 2 dropped Friday, and then now we know it's going to come out every Friday.
Yes.
It's going to be once a week, except for the week where Rise of Skywalker comes out. It'll be out on Wednesday, prior to the movie, so gives a little gappage. So episode 1, you want to start there?
Sure. What do you think of episode 1? Instead of because everybody's watching, instead of reviewing what happened.
No, I'm not going to review what happened. I'm just getting my thoughts together.
Overall, did you like the episode?
I did. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
I loved that it felt like a Western.
It did.
I love that this show is basically taking the old school spaghetti Westerns of the late 50s, 60s, and basically turning it into a sci-fi Western. Literally the first scene is Drifter walks into a bar, shoots up the place, orders a drink, and leaves. You know what I mean? That is the essence of a Western.
For me, that scene, I'm in the camp. I didn't really like the first episode as much.
Okay.
Overall, if I did like the practical, I can see they're using a lot more practical effects.
Hell yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I appreciate that.
Okay.
But that first bar scene, I thought I was gonna like it a lot more than I did. To me, it felt stiff, and then it felt fluid.
What do you mean?
Just like the acting we get from the Mandalorian, and I know it's the beginning.
Yeah. But
I feel like 100%, Pedro Pascal is wasted here in episode 1, episode 2. I feel like the dialogue that he has for episode 1, even in episode 2. It's very stiff, monotone. Anybody could do it, but I understand it's the bounty hunter, so I'm trying to give way to that a little bit more.
But it's not just that. So it's supposed to be like that.
I guess
he is from a race in Star Wars lore that is a warrior race. They speak with their weaponry and talent, not with their mouths, because talk is cheap and action is what divulges. I think Pedro Pascal is actually quite brilliant in these episodes already because of the things he does without talking and without being able to see him. Okay. I think the way he moves, the way his head turns, and you could feel what he's thinking without being able to see him is a skill that not everyone could do. I think it's something that we see when, obviously people have difference of opinion when it comes to everything, but Tom Hardy as Bane. the amount of things he had to do with his eyes in order to get his point across because he had the changed voice, the funny voice. But again, he has a helmet on all times. It's like a luchador, right? They don't take the helmet off.
So, like, when you brought up the physicality of Pedro Pascal and Mandalorian, I felt that was severely lacking. I don't feel like I think you're getting swept up in this show, which is nothing wrong with that, and that's awesome.
Okay.
But when you see I was looking for that. I was looking for all right, how else you can convey these kind of things to me, and he did, but in a very minor way. I feel like anybody could have jumped in a suit. I don't feel like.
Well, here's the thing, too. I think a lot of people yes, am I swept up in the show? 100%.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
But I was not expecting him, and I think a lot of people were for some reason. I don't think he's been a bounty hunter for that long. And I think there's a lot of things in this show that you have to think and kind of look beyond skin deep of what they're showing you. Because a lot of people are like in the first episode, right? He gets into the bar fight, boom. There's a lot of, leeway into the next scene, and then he goes through the scene on the ship, and then yada, yada, yada. And he's not really fighting as much as you would think.
I'm fine with that.
But when he fights, he's not winning clearly every time. No. He's getting injured. He's getting this. He's still getting upgrades to the armor. I don't think he's been a bounty hunter for that long. I think there's a lot we don't know, and I was not expecting him to be at the peak of fighting level. I think a lot of people were he's going to kick ass and take names every step of this way, and we're never going to see this guy down and out.
I can see how a lot of people think that because of the way this was advertised.
Yes, exactly.
So, I did he got a new armor piece, and maybe I'm all right, this show becomes his journey to become the best bounty hunter. Maybe that's what this is.
I don't even know if it's about him being the best bounty hunter. I think this story, and as you see in the first episode, right? Which is one of the best scenes of the first episode, which I think we can agree, is when he's getting the armor made, and every hit is he's having a flashback.
Yes,
of his childhood and Mandalore being attacked by the Empire and Mandalore being taken down, and it looks like his dad hides him in somewhere to keep him alive.
The good thing with this show, I do have to say, and especially with Star Wars, I think this is what Star Wars needed, because Star Wars needs to breathe, right? It needs to take its time and slowly develop stuff. So this show, and I could be eating my words, when episode 3 comes out and everything else.
Yeah.
And
we both can. I could be too.
I could definitely see myself eating these words because I could see them planting seeds for big development down 100%, the road.
100%.
And you could see the world, and it allows it to breathe, and the weeks at a time. Because Star Wars does better when you don't watch it all at once. Because if you watch these 2 episodes back to back, you're all right, really? I'm watching these 2. But if you wait a week, you take your time to miss it, if you will, and then go back to it. I think that's the biggest advantage Star Wars has.
Well, I also think I don't know if it's an advantage. I think it's a smart way of doing it. I think the week to week compared to the binge watch lets people think about each episode more. It lets them talk about it. It lets them
conspirize.
Yeah, it lets them theorize and conspirize about all these different things. But I also will say, I think hands down the biggest thing of this show that we've seen already is you cannot compete with the cinematography of this show.
Oh, that is very
the
nice.
Scope and the money that has been put into this. This show makes Game of Thrones look like a 90s sitcom.
I don't think I can
100%. Look at it next to each other. They have spent at least $20 to $25 million per episode. Game of Thrones, I think the most they spent on it was $15 million, and it was the war episodes. Mm-hmm. The amount of technology and practicality mixed with that. Even looking at things just his ship flying into a world that looks absolutely real. These monsters and animals that look real.
I do like
these aliens that look seamless, and you're wondering why is this kind of almost normal for this? It's so crazy.
See, I get moments where it looks normal, and then I get moments where I was all right, this is obviously a physical prop that they've done in the show on purpose.
The practical effects.
Yeah, it's not it's to a point. Sometimes the practical effects takes you out of it. For me, takes me out of it.
In what way?
I'm all right, I'm obviously watching. It doesn't feel like I'm watching an alien being. I feel like I'm watching some guy with a rubber suit on.
Okay.
And that's Star Wars. That's part of Star Wars' old appeal, especially the originals. That's all they had.
Well, yeah, that's all. Yeah,
so I feel like this show is an homage to that and trying to mix in the new stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, anything that is Star Wars made is going to be a mix of hey, this is an Easter egg from, you could connect this to this movie, you could connect this to this show.
I feel like I mean, I think they had to use the practical effects to keep the budget down.
I mean, were they that afraid of budget if they're spending $25 million an episode?
Maybe not. I felt like the show would have looked better if they put less practical effects.
I don't. I think the practical effects.
I think it makes it look older.
I don't.
Maybe what they're going for.
The whole universe is lived in. That's the point. Like, the joke of Star Wars is that it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but somehow in the future, or it's in the future, but somehow in the past. Like, this universe has to look lived in. It has to look not clean and new. It has to look used and not like, ships that are brand new and pretty all the time and desert dirty culture like
you don't have to use practical effects to make something look lived in.
Yes, I agree, but I like the practical effects. I like if more movies would use practical effects, because the other way is if you use too much CGI, everything looks fake at the same time. Everything is like, oh, that's clearly CGI. This backdrop is clearly CGI. This thing is clearly CGI.
The fight scene in the Endgame didn't look CGI to me. It didn't look like it was all fake CGI. It looked real. It felt real.
Yeah, in Endgame, yeah, but that's also a completely different scope and aspect and coloration too, right? Like, again, we could talk about this all day about colors and backdrops and CGI to practical. Star Wars has made its living on practical effects mixed with CGI and mixed with their, obviously early on, their own inventions.
I get it.
But I think, there's something to be said for, hey, these ships, there's a real model of this ship somewhere that we have made practical, but we've shared it with CGI, and now it, that's how it looks this big. Or, we're flying it by this backdrop, but it moves with it. So it's a mix of both. And I personally enjoy the mix of both.
So let's move on to the scenes of the show, right?
Yeah.
So we see, like the end of episode 1.
Yes.
We see him get in contact with the bounty hunter droid, which I loved. I love that whole fight scene.
IB-88.
Yeah.
Played by Taika Waititi.
Is that who that was? Yep. Interesting. I know.
Taika Waititi was the bounty hunter droid.
So he kills the droid and he picks up this green little Baby Yoda. Everybody's calling Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Is it Baby Yoda?
Shocking. It's not actually Yoda. It's his race.
So wait, but yes. So I was in the same thing until I saw episode 2, where we see the little Baby Yoda use the Force.
Yes.
So I was like, okay. So
you are skipping so far ahead.
I understand, but this is a very important.
Yes.
Yeah. His thing. All right. Episode 2. Come on. I was like, his stuff got stolen. He had to go kill a thing.
Yeah.
He came back. It's all about Baby Yoda.
It is.
Whatever. Baby Yoda. We don't know if it's really Baby Yoda.
It's not Yoda, but it's of his race.
How can you say that after you use the Force?
Easily.
All his people could use the Force?
Easily. So here's the knowledge that you need to watch the show. So
that's Baby Yoda.
It's not, because this is before episode 7 and 8, and Yoda in episode 8 is a Force ghost.
Yeah, so wait, yeah. Because I remember they talked about the Empire's dead, right?
Empire's dead. Yoda's not around. He died he died in Return of the Jedi. This is 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So unless Baby Yoda gets reincarnated and killed again, then this is impossible. And Yoda in the Force Ghost in Last Jedi is still the same older Yoda we see in Return of the Jedi. He's still like dead as the old man.
Yeah.
Young Skywalker.
Yeah, because I had to ask you that question. I was like, all right, because he talked about the Empire died or is no longer there. I was like, okay. So where does that take place? Yeah. Is Yoda dead?
Yeah.
So Yoda's dead.
He's still dead. So within the race of Yoda, which we don't really know what the race is called.
Maybe it's his kid.
There's not a lot of Yoda like knowledge, which was the part of the lore of Yoda, because he's so strong and big thing, small package kind of like mental note.
And for you men out there, it's all right. You short guys.
Yeah. Let's go with that. So
wow, what were you gonna say?
I was talking about Yoda.
Okay.
So they were in the expanded universe, in the book universe, in the comic universe. There is a character that is a female Yoda character, and she is
Yodo.
No, not Yodo. But her character is also a Jedi Master. She gets killed during the Clone Wars during this fight.
So it's not her.
No, it's not her. But there is talks of Yoda's race of being is very strong in the Force. Like, there's not a lot of Yoda's race because of how they're grown. And like, again, Yoda died at 800. This is a 50-year-old baby that we're seeing in this show, right?
Baby, he's old as shit.
He's old as hell. So, like, this is a 50-year-old baby. So their race ages way differently. If that has something to do with the midichlorians or the way the Force is used in these, like, in this specific race of beings, is probably within that.
Can this baby be related to Yoda?
Yes, possibly.
That'd be.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, he was eating frogs whole.
What if he? No, there's no way they could bring him in. The
also,
movie.
the other side note, the baby Yoda, besides
that's what we're calling him until we get a name.
Oh, 100%. 2 reasons. Smartest probably thing I've seen in Star Wars in a long time.
That it's in a little ball and you can control it.
Well, no, that's just cool, but just the entire character, and this is why.
Practical.
Number 1, it is the cutest fucking thing you will ever see in your life, and every girl watching it wants every merchandise, everything about it.
I can confirm that Heather already told me she wants to buy it.
Erica wants everything. I literally watched both episodes twice by myself and then with Erica. As I'm watching episode 2, I'm like, I'm literally looking at, she's going to say this when she sees this. She's going to make this sound when she sees it. She's going to say, oh my God, I can't. Oh my God, kill me. Oh my God, this is the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Did she say those things?
All of them, plus more things.
Oh my God.
And I'm literally like, you guys are fucking genius for marketing it this way, because
and little kids are going to want it.
Every plushie, every little backpack, every stroller egg thing that you could buy, every t-shirt, everything is going to be bought. And number 2, this actually would pertain to a little bit of your world more so. Are you familiar with the anime manga called Wolf and Cub?
No.
So there is a manga that Dave Filoni, who is the producer, and he created Clone Wars animated and Rebels and all the animated shows. He directed the first episode of Mandalorian.
Okay.
And he has been talking about this manga that he loves for a long time and how he wants to kind of base a Star Wars story around it. And the story is kind of like this lone wolf guy who goes through and is not a bounty hunter, but he's kind of like protecting this town or something.
Okay.
And he comes across this baby who he now protects. And this baby is like the answer to some huge question that the book takes you on this journey with. It's basically the same concept.
Yeah, I've seen this concept in other stuff.
Yes, where the Mandalorian has a very simple, very linear job, right? Your job was given to you by the awesome guy with the voice, where it's you have to find this thing, you have to either kill it or bring it back to us so we can do tests on it. That's your only job. This is how you do it, and here's how much money you will get for it.
And that thing apparently is some sacred to the race, and he creates armor from it. That little brick thing.
Yes, that the Empire purged from Mandalore.
Yeah.
So the planet of Mandalore is kind of in ruins right now, and there's not as many Mandalorians as there were during like the Clone Wars and everything. So this is a huge thing for him as well.
This is 5 years before episode 7, right?
No, this is 5 years after episode 6. This is still like another 15 years before 7.
So 15 years before 7.
Give or take. Give or take. So
okay.
Mandalore is kind of in shambles. It was awesome to see kind of like the underground with a couple of Mandalorians. But now you have this character who has a very linear situation. Now has to make not only a moral decision, but a decision on his own life. As you saw in episode 2, the beginning, like he's getting attacked. He was not the only bounty hunter they gave this out to, right? Because we saw the droid in the first episode who also had the bounty on it. And he shoots him and he's like, wait, hold on. I have it too. And then you saw the Boss Nass characters that he like messes up with the taser gun. And he fights them in the game. There's a bounty hunter.
Episode 2?
No, there's a bounty hunter in 4 through 6. There's a scene where Vader's giving the order to catch the Millennium Falcon to Boba Fett and all the other bounty hunters.
Okay.
And there's a shot where like the guys working for the Empire and they look up and there's like the lizard guy and he's like blah, 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 like makes that sound and they're kind of like ew. That character's name is Boss Nass.
He's gonna be in this?
I don't think so. I think he's dead.
Then why'd you bring him up?
But that because it's the same race. Like those lizard guys are the same race.
Where was there a lizard guy?
in the beginning of episode 2, the guys he fights, and he disintegrates the guy before he goes to kill Baby Yoda.
Oh, yes.
And then he's looking at him like, oh, shit.
They look like T-Rex people.
Yes.
So I was like, where is this going? What are you bringing up a lizard man for? What are you talking? That was like 2 seconds. Yeah, I remember.
So the beginning where he's fighting off. So that's how we know there's extra bounties on this Baby Yoda. And obviously we go through the thing with the Utini and the Jawas, which was awesome to see.
They want the egg in there. They're going for the freaking high. They're like, give me the egg.
But that was actually pretty cool to me too, because like you see Jawas in the original movies and they're kind of like these funny little stupid things. It was kind of cool to see him like in the ship, like, and he hits his head and they all laugh at him.
Yeah,
they're kind of jerks.
And they're like throwing stuff at him.
And he kills, he's like disintegrating them with the gun. I was laughing, like that was hilarious.
That was a good scene.
So yeah, like episode 2 is a little more of this, like, and also what we find out is after Yoda uses the Force and he's a baby, right? So he kind of gets knocked out and he has to recover and he's sleeping. They don't really know what the Force is still, right? Like, like this part of the world. Like, I don't know what planet we're on. I don't think it's Tatooine or Jakku, but it's a desert-esque planet. And Nick Nolte's character, who's the guy who helps him, I have spoken. Earth.
I like that. I have spoken. I like them.
I like that.
I have spoken.
You think that's why? You think that's why he's alone?
Yeah, I have spoken.
Because like he had a wife and she's like, no, I'm not in the mood. He's like, no, I have spoken. This is happening.
I'm gonna start.
Listen every time he said it. He just listened.
I'm gonna start doing that from now on.
I have spoken.
Like, oh, can I get this? I have spoken.
I'm taking this for free. You can. I have spoken.
I have spoken. He's spoken.
He's spoken. He can't do anything.
Yeah, the manager. I have to get my manager. He's spoken. I don't know what to do. Well, he's spoken.
He's spoken. You gotta listen to him now.
What's the comeback to that? No, I've spoken.
Nothing.
Oh, we both spoken.
I don't know. I don't think there is. We speaking. We be speaking.
We be. Well, guys, we were speaking and spoken on Mandalore.
And that's really it. Like, you can't really say anything to that.
Yeah.
I think it's a great. I think it was a very funny line because it was like coming through. I also like that the animals were called blurgs.
They were like just piranha with legs.
Yeah, because
they were weird.
They look how they sound, like how the name sounds, right? Like blurg. Like that was pretty funny to me.
You have anything
he's
else?
He's like, do you ride blurg? He's like, I don't know how to ride a blurg.
He's like, give me a speeder. Like, no, you got to ride a blurg.
Yeah, I think two things. I think the show's good so far, and I think there is a lot of room for the story to expand and explode. I think now that he's off the planet and right now he has to make a choice. Am I giving this child back to the broken down empire? Because in my mind, this is like the under sect of the empire that's been broken, right? Mm-hmm. Think of the timeline we're in. Luke Skywalker is out there. The rebellion is still out there.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker is still bringing peace to other planets in the galaxy. So is Leia and Han and the rebels, and they're recreating the intergalactic Senate, and democracy's coming back to this galaxy. There is a underground sect of the empire that does not want that to happen. And I think with this character, and they're like, we know this Yoda, we're not going to say what it is, but we know Master Yoda from the Clone Wars. We know what this race can do. We know how much power this race has, and what this one person, Yoda, did to us before this started. We cannot afford for that to happen while this Luke Skywalker kid is running around with his lightsaber. Yeah,
this guy whose lightsaber is starting to hold Jedi school.
Who just took down the Emperor and Vader. We cannot risk this Jedi Order resurgence. But I still think there's a lot of characters in this world, like the Mandalorian, like the other guy, who do you still understand what happened? He's like, no, I don't know what just happened.
How mad would you be if he just drops off Baby Yoda and they just never touch on it again?
I mean, then it's a really short show. I think the one issue I have is the episodes are a little shorter than I thought they would be.
I'm fine with that.
Episode 1 was like 40 minutes and episode 2 was 33 minutes. Mm-hmm. I think you could have had especially bang for your buck if you're spending $20 to $25 million on the cinematography and the looks and the characterization and all the special effects. A little more time on each episode would have been nice, but I think this show's going to open up in a big bad way with this character.
I mean, hopefully it picks up steam.
With Mandalore in the background and how that's going to fall into him. His backstory, we saw in the preview, he might have had a wife who was taking his helmet off at one point. We're definitely going to see Pedro Pascal's face at one point. We're definitely going to get some more stuff on that.
All right, guys. Let us know down in the comments below what you thought of The Mandalorian, episode 1 and 2. Are you on Chris' side? Are you emphatic? That's not the right word. Are you really happy about this show?
I don't even know what he was trying to say.
I don't know what I'm trying to say. Or are you on me? Blarg.
I have spoken.
Are you still like me? Still on the fence about the show? You're not really a big fan of it? Let me know down in the comments below.
You're really not that big of a fan of it?
Yeah.
Why?
I can take it or leave it.
Or are you just being a hipster?
No. I think everyone loves the show.
Really?
Hipsters.
I don't know if everyone loves it.
The only person I know of who did not like the first episode was Mark Bernardin.
Yeah, Mark Bernardin didn't like the first episode. The pacing, I would say, is a thing too that people are talking about a lot. But again, like I said, I think it's going to open up in a big bag way.
I'm going to still watch it to see if it gets better.
You know, I'm going to watch it.
I know you're going to watch it no matter what. So, guys, that wraps up this episode of the Jersey Comic Crew Podcast. Thank you guys so much for hanging around with us and listening. Let us know what your favorite thing we discussed this week is.
Yes.
As always, make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms.
Yes.
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and keep the conversation going there.
Ring that
bell. We're not doing it. Yes. On YouTube.
There? Over there.
No, we are here. It should be over here.
Ring that bell?
Hit that bell. Hit that subscribe icon. It really helps us out. Yes. As always, I'm Rob Moran.
And I'm Chris Heller.
And we'll see you next time.
JerseyComicCrew.podbean.com.
We have spoken.